city. DC, that's where I'm from. 1130 podcast. Dre and Willsy is the one. Let's get it. Yeah. Who with me? Let's get it. Yeah. Who with me? Yeah. I'm from the city. DC, that's where I'm from. Let's get it. 1130 podcast. Dre and Willsy is the one.
He the one, nigga.
So let's breeze, baby.
He the one.
With me. So let's breeze, baby. Let's get it.
Yo, what it do, everybody? It's your man Dre, aka Dre on Wheels. This is episode 57 of the 1130 podcast, Talk Pro Wrestling. What's goody? How everybody doing out there? Appreciate you guys joining me back here for the podcast, man. It's Friday, man. Good morning, good night, good afternoon to all my listeners all across the world. Shout out to all my listeners, man, in Canada, Germany, the States, the UK, all over, man. The UK, everybody. I appreciate you guys joining me back here on this Friday for Talk Pro Wrestling. It's going to be an exciting episode. If you guys joining me on YouTube, you already know what it is. Hit that subscribe button, like, comment, share it so we can get the 1130 podcast up and out there even more. And don't forget to follow the 1130 podcast on all social media platforms. But you guys, man, like I was saying, back here with a great episode this week, man. Yo, me and my guy Derrick, man, we was talking about like a couple of months ago trying to get him on the podcast. Couldn't make that happen. But today is today, you guys. Yes, he's the host, you guys, of Rap and Wrestle podcast. He's going to be joining me, yes, this week on the show today, man, to talk some wrestling. Yes, to chop it up on everything wrestling, everything trending, get to know my man Derrick and all that good stuff, man. So, yo, we ain't gonna waste no time because we got a lot of things to talk about here this week on Talk Pro Wrestling. Yo, Derrick, man, what's going on with you?
It's going good, bro. I'm happy to be here, man. You know, once again, thanks for extending the invite. Glad to be here, talk some wrestling, man. You know, that's what we do. So I'm glad we can link up on this.
Hey, man, I'm glad, man. It's going to be fun, man. But how's your week? How's your week been?
My week has been good, man. Busy as usual. I'm heading out, been doing a little bit of traveling, been going to some shows and stuff like that. So I've been jam-packing these interviews in, trying to get that content out, man, you know, give it to the fans and, you know what I mean? Yeah. Just working, man. That's all I'm doing.
Yeah, that's all you can do, man. You know, just keep being consistent, man. I dig that. I dig that. Where you from?
I'm out here in Jersey, man. So I'm on the East Coast, Central Jersey, by Rutgers University. I'm repping right now, my alma mater. So that's where I'm at.
Okay. How is it out there?
It's cool. I mean, can't complain. This is the Northeast, so especially as being a wrestling fan, this is like one of the hot spots for being a wrestling fan. You got New Jersey, where there's tons of independent wrestling shows. You got New York, which is right above us with all the independent wrestling shows they run there. And then you got Philly right underneath us, which is they have their independent wrestling shows. And you get a lot of variety because down like Philly, Pennsylvania is like the hardcore, like Nick Gage and deathmatch wrestling. And then, you know, you got between us and New York, you got like the wrestling that, you know, you're used to, that you see on TV. So it's a nice mix over here in the Northeast.
Okay, you got a little bit of everything going on. Because I know New York, Jersey, and Philly, man, you guys be going crazy for wrestling, man. You guys are like the diehard wrestling fans of the States, though, along with like Chicago. But
yeah, man. Yeah, we're crazy. We're crazy over here when it comes to wrestling, for sure.
Hey, that's what's up, man. I love wrestling, man, along with you, man. But, man, once again, I appreciate you joining me on the podcast this week. For my listeners and viewers who are joining me this week, can you tell them a little something about you?
Yeah, man. Well, my name is Derrick. Like you said, you can check out Rap and Wrestle. Where basically with that show is what I try to do is, you know, connect the dots between hip hop and wrestling. So there's so many similarities in the wrestling world and the hip hop world. Whether it be performance, whether it be character development, you know, delivering, just there's a whole bunch of similarities. And we know you can see like there's tons of wrestling guys who are into hip hop. There's tons of hip hop guys throughout the years that you've heard them use wrestling lines and their verses and stuff like that. You can see connections with groups like Hit Row, which we got right now, NXT, where, you know, they're combining hip hop and wrestling. You can see the influence when it comes to stars like Cardi B, Bad Bunny, Snoop Dogg, who've always been involved. So, you know, when it comes to that, I'm just trying to just show the connection, man, and show that, you know, these two worlds, as different as they may seem, that they're actually pretty similar, and they've been hand in hand for, you know, a pretty long time now. Also, what I also do is I'm also the co-host on the Wrestling IQ 101 podcast, which is strictly wrestling. We started out, we talked to a plethora of wrestlers. We talked to legends in the business. We've talked to guys who are on the independent scene. We talked to guys who we think are good, that are on their way up, and, you know, we just think deserve a chance. So that's also one of my shows you can check out as well. I don't know, man. I'm a Jersey boy at heart. That's really just me, man. This wrestling family is what I'm all about. And that's me, man.
Hey, that's cool, man. I dig it. I really dig it. We came across each other through a mutual friend on Instagram. Shout out to my guy Joe Fo at the Joe Fo podcast. It was around the time that a Cardi B was getting a lot of attention from the, you know, WWE and WWE fans were talking about her, and I was just talking about rap and wrestling, because, you know, we all know about the old school days with WWF and the MTV and the rock and wrestling era. So it was, you know, I thought, I never, you know, I mean, we seen Snoop Dogg and we seen hip hop guys like Busta Rhymes, you know, on WWE TV, but it never just went to a certain extent. So I was just like, yo, man, you know, rap and wrestling, it'd be cool to, you know, see if it would happen. And my man Joe Fo commented, and we got connected, and I was like, rap and wrestling. Yo, man, I definitely got to chat with my guy to, you know, chop it up with him, because that'd be some really, really cool. If you have a tag team, you know, rap and wrestling tag team, you know, who would you like choose?
Oh man, that's a tough one right there. But I would probably go. I'm gonna say wrestling wise, I'd probably go with The Rock, just because I love him so much, and I think you know, he was so influential to the business at that time. It was like, I feel like when you just talked about the Rock aspect of it, like, we always known of Rock and wrestling, and I think The Rock represented kind of like the hip hop side for us, and Stone Cold represented the rock side. You know what I mean? So that was kind of like the representation for us. And I think when it comes to hip hop, it's so tough, man, to really pick anyone. But if I had to, I'd probably go with like Nas or somebody like that, or Eminem, somebody like lyricist. I love lyrics, so I'll probably go with one of them. But I'll take Nas and The Rock. I'll settle on that.
Nas and The Rock. That'll be dope. That'll be a cool tag team, for real though. You a big fan of The Rock, man? I'm a big fan of The Rock. Man, like, how did you get into wrestling? Like, when was wrestling first, you know, introduced to you?
Yeah, when I was a kid, like, I always tell everybody this, when it came to wrestling, I was spoiled. Everything else, not so much. But wrestling, I was spoiled. So, like, my mom, she was a single mom, so she would work on the weekends. So, my grandfather used to take care of me and help out. And I used to always stay at his house on the weekends. And he was a big wrestling fan. So, I've always watched WCW, always watched Raw. You know, that was the time during the Monday Night Wars and all that. So it was like the best time to be a wrestling fan, if you ask me. I don't think no era comes even close to that. And you know, he used to literally order every pay-per-view. We used to watch wrestling together all the time. So it was literally, I got to see every pay-per-view from WCW and WWE. I got to freaking watch Raw. I stayed up late, watched it. Everything. So that's really when I became a huge fan of it. And it was just the characters and just seeing, you know, all the guys. They were like, literally, when you're a kid and you're watching wrestling, those guys are like real life superheroes to you. That's what it looks like to you on the screen. So for me, that's just how it happened for me. And, you know, I've been a fan ever since.
Yeah. That sound about like this, you know, sound. I've been a fan the longest. I haven't watched WCW. I was a big The Rock fan, Stone Cold fan, in the Attitude Era. It was like no generation can touch that generation right there. It was just off the chain though. Off the chain. You talk about you being from New Jersey and stuff like that. I know it was, the big Raw after WrestleMania at I think it was 2013. Were you able to be there when Dolph Ziggler won the championship, the World Heavyweight Championship?
I wasn't able to be there at the Raw, but I was at the WrestleMania. So I was there. I was there the night before. I was at WrestleMania when it was in MetLife, and I distinctly remember that too. Like everybody was cheering from the cash in and get the title. But no, those Monday nights after WrestleManias are crazy. So I don't know, like those events when they come to town, because we've also had Brooklyn, which is across the bridge. They did SummerSlam 3 years in a row there, and then we've gotten WrestleMania twice out here as well in MetLife in New Jersey. So those weekends are long, man. So I'm telling you, it's literally every independent company is running shows during that whole week. So you're going, there's guys that, you typically might not see that you've seen on social media, and you're like, oh, this is a good independent company. They come up and they're running shows. There's tons of conventions where you could go and meet guys that normally wouldn't be around here that you could go take pictures with. And then it starts the wrestling. It's like you got NXT, the takeovers, and then you got WrestleMania, and then there's Raw, and then there's SmackDown. So it's so hard. Like, I give credit to anybody who can actually go through and do all of that stuff. But me, I'm not one of those people. It's a mission going back and forth already. And then it's like to keep going constantly every day to this event, that event, that event. It's so hard. So you kind of got to pick and choose what you got to get out of it. I went to Takeover and I went to WrestleMania that year, but I didn't go to the Raws and the SmackDown, because I've done that with the SummerSlams, and it's too much, man. It'll kill you, man. It'll definitely kill you.
Oh, okay. My next question was going to be like, how was the experience? Yeah, how was the experience? I thought you went to everything throughout the week though. So yeah, I never been to a WrestleMania and stuff like that. I would kind of see the experience. I heard a lot of people really enjoy it. Some people say, man, it's amazing.
It's amazing. It is amazing. I'll tell you that. It definitely is an amazing experience, and if you could do it, man, I would say definitely go and try to do it. I was supposed to go to Tampa the year we had all the COVID stuff and it got canceled. I was gonna take my son to his first WrestleMania, and it was just perfect. I'm a Tampa Bay fan as well, so I would have been able to go to the stadium. That would have been my first time visiting the stadium. Now I've been able to get out to Tampa as well. But WrestleMania is an experience, man. It's like they say, it's the Super Bowl of wrestling. It's nothing bigger than it, and it's hard to put it into words. It's so crazy, man. Like, I always remember when CM Punk took on The Undertaker at WrestleMania, and I swear to this day, I've never been in a crowd that was as crazy as when that match was going on. It's like you just feel electricity like through your body. It's a wild experience. It's really dope. So if you can do it, man, I definitely say, go ahead, man, and get that experience, bro, for sure.
Yeah, most definitely, man. I'm trying to go. I would definitely put that on the bucket list, man. You speak of that match at WrestleMania, CM Punk, Undertaker. I always thought CM Punk should have won that match, though. But hey, that's in the past. With that being said, at that WrestleMania too, a lot of people rank that WrestleMania real low. What you think about that?
I thought it was pretty solid. I mean, it's probably a little bit biased because I was there, so it was an experience for me. That was my first WrestleMania, so for me it was a good experience. But I thought it was pretty solid. I mean, you have Brock Lesnar and Triple H was that on there too.
Yeah. I think a lot of people were upset that Dolph Ziggler didn't cash in that night at WrestleMania.
Yeah,
and they were sort of hoping for maybe John Cena kind of clotheslining The Rock at the end or something like that. So I guess that was it though, but it was cool.
Yeah, that I thought it was cool too. That was a pretty crazy match too. The fans were going pretty nuts for that one too as well. I think it was overall it was pretty solid. As far as shows I've been to, it's definitely I definitely don't have it ranked low. I think the CM Punk and Taker match just raised the whole show itself just because of that. It was so great. But I think I enjoyed it. I thought it was a pretty solid show.
Okay. Hey, that's what's up. But you guys, man, we're gonna move on here on Talk Pro Wrestling. Speaking of shows, man, WWE right now is just it's going through a phase right now. They just going through a whole lot of stuff right now. What's your feelings on WWE right now? You know, they had some releases and the ratings ain't been too great. So
yeah, man. I don't know. There's a whole bunch of rumors with them, and people talking about selling the company and all this other stuff and making cuts for money. It's kind of tough. It's like these guys, it's like you see the talent that they're releasing, and you're just like, it's crazy that they're releasing these guys. Like, I would have never thought Braun Strowman was getting released. I didn't think Aleister Black was about to get released. He just got repackaged and they brought him back on TV, and he was doing the thing with Big E, and that was, those two were like totally unexpected to me. And some of the other people is like, I was shocked, but it was like they weren't being used. But I feel like at the time when it was like when AEW was just coming out, it was like WWE, they basically were hoarding talent. They were just signing people to contracts, giving them more money than they normally would, and they were just holding people so that they wouldn't leave and go to AEW and help those guys out. So now I think they're at the point where it's like, it's budgeted and you got to decide, who you're getting rid of. It's a business at the end of the day, as much as, we like to look at things and we like to play owners with other people's money. We don't really know what's going on, behind those doors. That's the business aspect of it. But when it comes to what they're doing on TV, there's a lot of questions. Like, I really don't understand a lot of stuff that they do with, especially when it comes to Raw. It's like, that's their mainstream show. And I would probably, between Raw, SmackDown, and NXT, Raw is definitely the worst show out of all three of them. So I don't understand, a lot of things they're doing there. It's a lot of creative questions. SmackDown, I think they do a solid job. NXT, I think is a solid job as well. And NXT, I think a lot of it is the wrestling that kind of covers for any mistakes that we would see in creative. But I think you look at SmackDown like that, the Roman Reigns story is probably carrying the whole company right now. Really besides that, I really don't know. I enjoyed the Bobby Lashley stuff. I enjoyed the Hurt Business. That was something else they broke up. I think I don't know what's going on with Alexa Bliss. I enjoyed her before, but I'm kind of lost on the Shayna Baszler stuff with the doll and the stuff. I'm trying to let it play out and see what's happening, but I don't know. There's literally a lot of questions, and a lot of it's hard to sit and watch Raws nowadays and like pay attention 100% to it. Like, you can watch it and be like, all right, let me look at something on my phone. Let me do this. Let me do that. And you feel like you're not missing anything.
Yeah, you're right about that. Usually, man, I come in the Raw at least like an hour already into the show, so I can fast forward it and not sit through any of that bull crap. Because normally they just show on basically what happened last week, 2 weeks ago, or whatever like that. So I definitely get what you're saying. On the potential buying, who you think they may sell to? Disney may be one of them. I heard.
Yeah, I've been hearing Disney. I've been hearing ESPN. I've been hearing ESPN. I've heard for a while now.
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't know. That's kind of crazy to me too. It's like, because I don't understand it either. It's like, if I own something like that, there's no way. And your kids are involved in it. Stephanie is involved in it. Shane's involved in it. Even your son-in-law is involved in it. So it's like, I don't understand. Why don't you give that to them and let them take it over instead of saying, hey, I want to sell this? So that's why I don't know. It's a rumor, Yeah, so it is. We don't know if there's any truth to it or not, but it's a rumor. Yeah. If it is true, it's something that doesn't make sense, because it's like, hey, just hand it over to your kids and let them take over the company and let them run it. But I don't know. I've been hearing ESPN. I've been hearing Disney, just like you said. I don't know what they do to the product if they do take it over and what it becomes after that.
Yeah, it probably just become even more watered down. I hear a lot of people, Amazon and stuff like that. It just seems like Vince McMahon, I don't know. He's out of touch, but he just seems like he just want to, he want his name basically in the column with the world's, I guess, richest billionaires. I guess I don't even know. It don't seem like he's that much focused. What's going on in wrestling right now? Like we were just talking about on Raw, man. It's just it's off the chain. Like with Alexa Bliss, for example. 2 weeks ago, her pet pig passed away. Real sad and everything. Everybody, showed out for her and stuff like that. And now, this past Monday on Raw, we, got this crazy ass ending on Raw. Like, to me, shout out to the Job of Tears Network. I was watching their podcast and they were talking about how the mystique of wrestling is just kind of gone in a way. Like, how am I supposed to feel about Alexa Bliss? If Alexa Bliss pig just died and then I turned on Raw and then I gotta really believe into what she's doing, it kind of like it's not making sense, So I mean, what you think? Do you think the mystique of wrestling is gone?
Yeah, no, I totally understand what you're saying, and I agree with that, and it's it's just a different time. I guess they call this the reality era is what they call it, but it's like it takes away from the show. The thing for us that I think when we were younger that gravitates us so much to wrestling is that when we were younger, we all thought it was real. That was the biggest thing for us. Mm-hmm. So, you know what I mean? It grabbed us in, and then you couldn't go and look online and, see The Rock and Stone Cold after having a few that they would be out eating dinner together or something like that. You wouldn't see that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So for us, it was like, yo, this is like legit stuff. You got bad guys hanging with bad guys. You got good guys hanging with good guys. And it's like The Undertaker is like, was The Undertaker 24/7? Mm-hmm. It was things like that. And I think that kind of hurts the business, but it's like we're at a time where, social media is the thing. But it's like, I don't know. Can you really tell the employees, hey, I want you to live the character 24/7. Don't post nothing about your actual life. I guess we're at the point where they're kind of just accepting like, hey, we know fans already know what it is, but what about those younger kids? They're not getting that experience now. Mm-hmm. So now they get confused and they're not able to grasp on as much as we did, because for them it's like they don't understand, like, why am I on social media or TikTok and I see this person making dance videos, but then in the ring they're a bad guy. Is very confusing. So I'll give credit. There's some people out here in the Northeast that are on the independent scene. The one that comes to the top of my head, you can look her up. She's a dope independent wrestler. Her name is Mother Endless, and her whole social media, she portrays kind of like this like dark character, kind of like in that whole realm of the Fiend and the Demon Finn Balor type thing. And she's her character 24/7. Her social media is all her character. She doesn't, you know what I mean? She doesn't portray anything else. So you believe like that's her character if you follow her on social media. So I don't know. It depends on if that's what you want to do. That's what you're going to do. If not, then I don't know. I think we have lost, a lot of touch when it comes to that aspect.
Yeah, you're right about that, man. Because like the Undertaker, like you spoke on the Undertaker, he was his character 24/7. Booker T even tried to get him to do the Spinner Rooney, and he was like, "Nah, I'm not about to do the Spinner Rooney. I'm gonna stay in character, because that's what the business was about." And now I don't know, you can't really sort of buy in to what certain people are doing, but then online it's just, I don't know, it just don't balance well. But we're gonna move on here, you guys, on Talk Pro Wrestling. We was mentioning that some of the guys who got released was one of them was Aleister Black. Was really a shocker because they was bringing him back, repackaging him, had multiple promos on SmackDown, and a big championship matchup between Apollo and Big E, and Aleister Black shows up, and okay, he's back now. And like I said, we learned that he's gone now. Where do Big E go from here?
That's a good question. I don't know. Back to the New Day.
Back to the New Day. Oh,
I don't know, but because it's like, do you keep the whole thing going and you restart that feud with Apollo and keep that going? Does he move on to, give Roman Reigns a new competitor? Like, kind of like, that's the thing after Cesaro type thing. Like, what's next for Roman Reigns? You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know. We're building up to SummerSlam. I doubt that's going to be the match, him against Roman at SummerSlam. I feel like they're going to have a big name for that for sure. It's like, I really don't know. It's a tough call for him. And, that's the thing too, that I feel kind of like happened before when he was a singles competitor as well. He had the IC title, and it's kind of like, you know what I mean? He kind of was in a bliss, like they didn't really know what to do with him. And, luckily for him, that's when the whole New Day thing started. So it's kind of like, you know what I mean? What do you do? Maybe does he join New Day again and then go back to being a New Day or what? You know what I mean? It's tough. I really don't know when it comes to Big E on that one.
Yeah, I mean, he had the ball rolling for a while. It seems like what they're going to do is probably just sit him out, as if, I guess Alistair, maybe hurt him, hurt him in some type of way that he needed, some time off, because it don't make sense for him to just pop right back up and just Alistair took you out. But that's going to be interesting to see where that goes. But with the New Day situation, I would like to see all of them go, in their separate ways. And, that match with Xavier that he had with Randy Orton, it was Riddle.
Matt Riddle.
That was great. That was a great match. And with the thing they got on SmackDown with Nakamura and Corbin playing off the King, the King Crown thing is kind of alluding that they're going to bring back the King of the Ring, maybe when the fans come back or something like that. I don't know. But Xavier talk about that's what he want to do. He could be, King of the Ring or something, and I would love to see, how that goes. And then with MVP said what he said last week, or actually this past Monday, to Kofi, it's just, I mean, like, he right, you let it end, because of that. You didn't ask for a rematch. You ain't say nothing. So, I mean, like, do you think Kofi won't get another shot?
When it comes to the title, I'm not sure. I kind of feel like they're like building towards possibly like maybe Kofi joining up with MVP. You know what I mean? Or maybe him and Xavier joining up with MVP and Lashley. Maybe, you know what I mean? Maybe that's the replacements for Cedric and Shelton that they needed for the Hurt Business or whatever. I don't know. Or maybe because it's the thing with the New Day is like I love all of them. I think all of them are great separately. But I feel like kind of like what they're doing with Big E now is kind of like the test of what will happen if all three of them are separated. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, are they going to get stuck in limbo? Xavier Woods is the one I worry about the most out of all the three. Kofi is Kofi. He's a legend. He's going to get his shine. Xavier, Big E is what Vince loves. The big dude. He got a lot of athleticism and he's good. Xavier is great too, but I don't know if as a selling point, if they feel like they can get him to where they want to be and have him be a star on his own. So that's the thing I'm kind of worried about. But I don't know. I would love, me personally, I would like to see them two join up with MVP and Lashley and kind of like, the new Hurt Business together. You know what I mean? I think that would be interesting. That if it's me, that's what I would push for that. And I think that would be great, kind of like a you know what I mean? I wouldn't say they died out being on their own on Raw, but I don't think they've been as good as the New Day, when all three of them were together. And maybe this could be something to, just put a fire under them and bring some life back to who they are.
Yeah. You're right. That'll be really interesting. And like you said, Xavier is the one to worry about the most, if they all really go their separate ways, because, what are you going to do? But I think this is a perfect time to, especially in this pandemic era before we get the fans back, because throughout this era, there's been a lot of chances that WWE been taking on certain guys, and they've been, having a good outcome in this, time that we've been in. So I think Xavier would fit right in and just see where it goes if he could stand out on his own in single matches. You mentioned SummerSlam, and it's word that Roman Reigns may be taking on John Cena, and because John Cena is talking about how he misses the WWE, he's free. How would you feel about that?
I wouldn't be mad at it. I would like that. I think it's it's good. It's a big name to come in. I mean, we haven't seen Cena in a while. I mean, a lot of people, I don't know, a lot of people hate on Cena, but I think he's a really solid competitor, and when he wants to go out there and deliver, he can definitely deliver, and he'll put on a great match, whether you're there to see him win or whether you're there to see him lose. You know what I mean? He always delivers. That's one thing you can't say about him, as much as people say he can't wrestle and all this other stuff. But I think it would be solid. I think it's a big name for that type of event. I heard they're really trying to go all out as if it was a WrestleMania. So to have him there, that's a big name. To have Roman be able to defeat him and put him on the list of people he's taking out over this whole tribal chief thing, I think would be even a better boost to Roman Reigns. And I think one thing you could say about John Cena is that as a lot of people come out and there's just stories of him burying people, all this other stuff too. I think he loves the business enough to put somebody like Roman Reigns over and to give him that, and he's gonna go back to Hollywood. So I don't know, but I think this Roman Reigns thing is a big thing, and I think serving up a John Cena to get beat by him, you know what I mean? I think it helps out Roman even more to be even more of a star than what he already is.
Yeah, it would help him out tremendously, because Roman Reigns, he's the man right now. He's like a total 360 from a whole year ago. Everybody was like, Roman suck, and now this year, you gotta acknowledge him though. You gotta acknowledge him. I got a funny feeling that he's gonna come tag team champion with Jay.
Think so?
Yeah, because somehow, I think he's gonna, Jimmy is gonna go off. He's just gonna be like, man, I ain't falling in line, and Jay's just, gonna come tag team champ. They gonna win the tag team titles or something like that. I don't know. It's just some type of speculation going on. I don't know. But another thing about SummerSlam, Cardi B is supposed to be the host of SummerSlam.
True.
Yeah. That's gonna be cool from the rap side of wrestling. How you feel about that? Because I know a lot of the women in wrestling is pretty excited.
Yeah, it's a big name, man. I don't know. Always fans, especially the IWC is like they always just come out and just attack stuff right from the gate and never give stuff time to develop or whatever. Cardi B is one of the biggest stars in music, period, and she's become a household name. She's a very entertaining person. I think we all know that. She's freaking hilarious, and she says a lot of crazy stuff. But I think I think it's a good fit. You know what I mean? I think she'll take it seriously. I don't think she'll play around. I don't know if there's plans of her to actually get into the ring, but you know what I mean? It's like I'm pretty sure people had the same concerns when it came to Bad Bunny as well. But look how serious he took it, and look how great he did at WrestleMania. Like he had one of the top matches of the night. He did so good. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So it's just like you just got to give it a chance. And I think as far as entertainment, Cardi B is definitely going to be entertaining. We know that. As far as what else comes after it, we'll see. But I don't know. I don't think when entertainers and stuff like that come into the business that it hurts people. A lot of people think that it kind of just hurts the business and the product. And I'm not one of them. If anything, it helps. It gets more eyes on them. Maybe there's people. Cardi B has a big following. She has millions of followers. So it's like, you know what I mean? Maybe those people don't watch wrestling. Now they tune into wrestling, or they watched wrestling when they were younger. Now they see, wrestling. Look, they got the women are doing this. Oh, look at this guy. Who's this guy? Look at it. Now you got more people interested in it, and anything that helps wrestling is good for everybody.
Yeah. You're right. I thought they were going to get her for SummerSlam. I mean, for WrestleMania, but obviously for the COVID and stuff, they got her for SummerSlam. I saw the commercial and I was like, is she going to be involved in SummerSlam? Well, she's going to be involved in it. Who's she slapping? She's slapping somebody. Who's she slapping?
Oh man, that's a tough one. I'll probably slap up Sasha. Probably.
Sasha?
I think that's like a that's like a good match. I don't know. I feel like that's as good as like, you know what I mean? Like what? Sasha, I think Sasha's from out here in Jersey too. So it's just like Jersey girl versus New Yorker. I think just typical stuff. I think that would be funny. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think she's actually gonna wrestle though, but she's gonna slap somebody. Somebody she's gonna slap though. And also, man, Bad Bunny did do the damn thing at WrestleMania, man. So that's what's up. That's what's up. Hey, but you guys, man, we chopping it up here with my man Derrick from Rap and Wrestling Podcast here on the 1130 Podcast, you guys. And yo, we're gonna take a quick break. I got a word from my guys over at Anchor. And when we come back, you guys, man, we're gonna chat it up some more. We're gonna talk about this fatal five-way that's going down at NXT Takeover and all that and more, you guys. We're right back here on the 1130 Podcast, Talk Pro Wrestling.
Everyone has something to say, a story to tell. We make it easy to share yours. So let's talk.
Regardless of your podcast setup, hit record. And from there, whether your podcast reaches 10 people or 10 million, we can help you get heard wherever listeners are.
And who knows, maybe even quit your day job.
But no matter who hears you, it's about connecting and sharing something from your perspective.
It's about having a voice and using it without anything standing in your way. Say it all with Anchor.
Hey yo, am I on? Hey yo, what up? What up, Derrick? What up, Rapid Wrestling? What up, bro? Oh, Derrick, you here? You here at the 11:30? You here with my man Dre at the 11:30, bro? I see you, bro. You know what it is, man. You know we just came to peek our heads in real quick and say, what up, bro? Man, you know what it is, man. We here to just say, what up, man? You already know you are, brother, man. Shout out to 1130 Podcast. Shout out to Rapid Wrestling. Yo, Derrick, man. What up, bro? What up? Make sure y'all go follow Rap and Wrestling Podcast, man. One of the best, man. And make sure y'all still go follow 1130 Podcast, man. That link down in the subscription, man. Y'all go follow that, man. Yo, Derrick, Rapid Wrestling. What up?
Yo, you guys, welcome back here to the 1130 Podcast, Talk Pro Wrestling. Appreciate you guys sticking with me throughout the commercial break, man. I got my guy Derrick, man, from Rap and Wrestling Podcast. As you guys seen, man, my guy Kofi, Kenneth, man, from the Dirty Hills Podcast. Yo, sending a special shout out to the 1130 Podcast, and not only me, man, my man Derrick from Rap and Wrestling. Yo, man, you guys are just a big community. From the Jobber Tears Podcast, from the Dirty Hills Podcast, man, from all of you guys, man. Like, how do you guys, connect and, just stay strong, just, wrestling, man?
Yeah, man. Those are my boys. Those are my boy Kofi Wheatston, my other boy, good brother Bo. Those are my boys, man. I was just hanging out with them at Battle Club Pro out here in New Jersey. Some good dudes, man. Showed me mad love for sure. But yeah, even the Jobber Tears, they were there too. They showed mad love as well. There's a lot of guys. We love wrestling, Henny wrestling. It was just a lot of love. That's just how it is. I mean, I came up with Rap and Wrestle for probably like, it was kind of like when the pandemic started, I kind of like, changed it up. I was doing Wrestling IQ 101. I knew a couple of them guys, but I didn't know them as close as I am to them now. And I kind of switched over to this, and they just been supportive since day one of me. You know what I mean? They thought what I was doing was just like a cool concept. They brought me in. I guess it's consistency too. There's a lot of dudes out here that they say, hey, I'm just starting a podcast, but it's like we see them and then they're gone in a couple months. So it's just the consistency and, just the linking up and everything. So that's all. It's nothing but love, man. It's nothing but support. Shout out to, all them guys. I hope those wrestling girls, Dead Ass Girls, Pretty Hills, Backstage Brawl, Clark Street Wrestling, the Jobber Tears, like we said, Dirty Hills Podcast, Hardy Wrestling Podcast. It's just the community is so deep. I'm pretty sure I'm missing people. Talking Champions, I know. I know I'm at Queen K. I know I'm missing so many people, but you know what I mean? Shout out to everybody. It's a deep network, and it's just a lot of black podcasters that just decided to come together and just, support each other. And it's been nothing but love, honestly. And I owe a lot of my success to, a lot of them guys. And a shout out to my other guys too. Jofo in the ring, like you said. Jofo, they're super supportive as well. My boy Bob Culture Podcast, another one who's super supportive as well. Shot of Wrestling, super supportive as well. So, you know what I mean? The Shining Wizards, always supportive as well. It's just a lot of dudes out there, you know what I mean? Good people in the podcasting community. And, you know what I mean? We got to support each other. We're all trying to make it. So, it's good that we all support each other.
Yeah, you're right. You're right about that, man. And like I said, when I started about a year and a half ago, I started the wrestling podcast about a year ago. And, just connecting with a lot of people and having Sir Wilkins on the podcast, chopping it up with him. He got a big match coming up with Miller, so that's gonna be cool. Chopping it up with Stan, he's doing his thing. Hardy Wrestling, Clock Street Wrestling just celebrated a 200 episode. So man, like I'm just trying to be like you guys, man. You feel me? I'm from DC. You guys all in the, in the wrestling area, man. I'm trying to be like you guys, man. But definitely show some support. But yo, man, that's definitely cool. Once again, man, shout out to the Dirty Hills podcast. But you guys, man, we gonna move on here on the podcast. You guys, we got NXT Takeover in your house this Sunday. A huge fatal 5-way matchup. Who you got? Who you got in this one?
This is so tough. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like one of those things, like your heart wants to say Adam Cole, baby. but it's like my brain is telling me Karrion Kross. You know, yeah. I think it's so. I think I'm gonna go with Karrion Kross, man. I think he's gonna retain, and I think it's gonna be a great match. You got a lot of great competitors in this match, but I think I don't know. I think he's a solid champ, and I think you know what I mean. He delivers all the time. I think he's great. I love his character. I love the gimmick with Scarlett as well as his valet, and I think it's nice to keep him as the NXT champion. But I mean you couldn't go wrong with any of those guys, to be honest. Mm-hmm. Like I wouldn't be upset if any of those guys won on that night. But you know what I mean? I just think Karrion is the answer for now to hold on to the title, especially in a 5-way. Or I mean, I don't know. You start thinking fantasy booking, because it's like if there was a way for him to lose the title, this would be the way you would want him to lose it, to not make him look weak. So it's like I didn't even lose the title. You know what I mean? Somebody else. It's like a whole bunch of play, and you could do around there. But I'm gonna stick with him. I'm gonna go with Karrion Kross. I'm gonna stick with it.
Okay. I'm gonna say Karrion Kross also, because a couple of weeks ago, when Adam Cole said, man, like they tried so hard for you, man, to be champion. When he became champion, he beat Keith Lee. He got injured, had to relinquish the title. Now he just beat Finn Balor now. So they trying hard for him to become champion, and he is champ. So Karrion Kross keeps it. I don't know, but I would like to see Adam Cole up on the main roster, though. I see a lot of NXT guys who don't want to go up to the main roster because of past actions. It seems like once everybody go up to the main roster, it's a total, it's another world basically. So I mean, I would like to see Adam Cole up there. Hey, that should be a cool matchup. Another cool matchup that's gonna be dope, man. LA Knight versus Cameron Grimes. Because he's going to the moon, man, for the $1 million championship. How you feel about them bringing back the $1 million championship? And do you think it should have been any other title?
I'm not mad about it. I think for this instance, for these guys, it makes sense. I'm kind of pulling for Cameron Grimes to win this match. I love his character. I think, you know what I mean? He draws so much heat, and people, he gets a reaction. So I think when crowds come back, like full to NXT, like he's going to be one of those guys getting a lot of heat. And I think, as far as what's going on, as far as the storyline, I think this title is perfect for him. But, you know what I mean? For me, I always think I love the European title. So I'm always like, as soon as they said they were bringing that back, I started thinking like, damn, why didn't you bring the European title back? I kind of like that belt, man. But
I started thinking that they were going to bring that title back, but I think the new European Championship is the NXT UK Championship.
Yeah. So it's like I don't know. And then on top of it, I mean, if we're gonna be honest, I think the last thing WWE needs is some new titles. It's like freaking like 30 titles out there, man. It's crazy. So, but I'm not mad about this one. I'm cool with them bringing back this title, and I enjoy seeing them in all the time. It was always one of my favorite titles, and I thought it was always one of the coolest ones to have. So it's interesting to see, who's gonna walk away with it that night.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. NXT Takeover in your house this Sunday. It's going to be dope. It's gonna be dope, man. Another addition to NXT over the last couple of weeks has been very intriguing, though. Hit Row. What's your thoughts on Hit Row?
Hit Row, I love it, man. I love it. That's what I mean. That's the what my podcast is based on, stuff like that. I think they're all talented, and I think they're all going to kill it. Like, they're all dope in the ring, and I know, like, Isaiah, he actually does rapping. I think all of them actually really do rapping as well too.
Yeah.
So it's pretty dope that they actually doing that. So I know, like, was it Josiah Dean Williams? I know he actually he does rapping as well too. So it's dope to see these guys who are actually doing, like, their art form, actually bringing that into who they are. And I think this is going to be very successful because, when you get to be who you really are, that's when the success really starts. And I think with Hit Row, this is kind of like playing off of who these guys really are and just turning up the volume a little bit, like they always say. And I think it's gonna work out perfect for them. And I love it, man. I really love it. I tune in to NXT on the regular, and to see them is a big part of why I'm tuning into it.
Hey, that's what's up. That's what's up. I hope they go real far, win NXT championship, tag team championships, and everything. So that's gonna be real cool. Oh, that was my next thing I was thinking of. Do you think they're gonna put out like a WWE rap album, kind of sort of like Elias did?
Wow, that's interesting. I can see that though. That's a good point you made. Because I know Isaiah Scott was already putting stuff out and working on stuff and albums and stuff like that. So I could see them doing a whole thing and actually putting it out. Yeah, I could see that. I could really see that. I think that would be pretty dope too. And I think it'll probably be actually a dope album as well if they let them be themselves and you know what I mean, just write the way they want to write. I don't know how censored it would be. You know what I mean? But I think that'll be a great thing. It's so funny. As soon as you said that, I saw a tweet come through from Clark Street Wrestling saying Hit Row are like one of the greatest things. So it's like they're listening to us already, right?
Hey, that's what's up. Hey, speaking of music though, are you into music?
Yeah, man. I'm a big music fan. All aspects of it, even though, you know what I mean, this show is based on hip hop, but yeah, I'm a huge music fan.
Okay. I was saying, like, do you make music also too?
No, I don't, man. I don't. But I've always like back in the day, in my college days, my boy was a hip hop artist, and well, he still is a hip hop artist. He changed up his sound a little bit though. He's more of a Afro hop artist. His name is ADH. If you ever want to check him out, you can check him out online at ADH online. His username. But yeah, I used to be his manager back in the day, and doing shows and all this stuff like that. So I've always kind of like played a little bit of the part in the background. I also, when I was in college, I did Rutgers Radio where we brought on, young independent talent that wasn't signed that we thought were dope in the area. And we gave them a shot to, be on the radio, to freestyle, to play their music, stuff like that. So I've always had something to do with, music and trying to, just give people a shot. That's my whole purpose with everything I do, man. I love talking to, big names and stuff that we got to see on TV and stuff like that. But I also like to give chances to those dudes that, people probably aren't reaching out to for podcast interviews. I like to do that. That's all I want to do. I like to shine light on people because it's like the same thing with us. It's like you trying to make it, I'm trying to make it. You know what I mean? Like we stuff like this is dope for me. You know what I mean? For you for you to reach out to me like, hey, I want you to come on my show. You know what I mean? Like, who am I for you to be like, hey, I want you on my show? So that is big for me. You know what I mean? That you thought that much of me to say, hey, I want you to come on and talk about stuff with me on my show. So I try to give that to other people as well to make them feel important and show like, yo, you're doing dope stuff. Don't let this stop you. Keep going. Like, you're going to be somebody big one day. And, you know, I believe in you. And there's other people who believe in you too. So that's like my whole purpose when it comes to all my shows that I do. That's what it's all about for me.
Hey, that's what's up, man. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. And you mentioned music and stuff. Who your top five? Who your top five, you know, rappers?
Top 5 rappers. Ugh, that's tough. We're going all time top 5?
All time. No Pacific order.
I'm put Eminem in there. That's okay. One of my favorites. I already said Nas. I put him in there. That's 2. I'm gonna throw in. Damn, this is tough. I'm gonna throw. I don't know if people think he's top 5, but I'm gonna throw in Drake because I love Drake, man. Just his versatile, just him being so versatile, and dude could literally make a straight R&B album, and he can make a hip hop album, and they both would be like dope without a miss. And I probably have to round it out with damn all time. You got to throw in. I think you got to throw in Biggie and Pac as well. But there's so many guys. Like I love Kendrick. I love J. Cole.
That was about.
I love DMX. I'm not really a Jay-Z fan, but I respect his work. I love Kanye West. I think the Kanye West, not the crazy Kanye West. I thought he was an amazing artist, and he was definitely my favorite artist at one point. Yeah, man, there's so many guys. It's so hard to make a top 5.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard, man. Drake is up there definitely with me. J. Cole is a number 1. Lil Wayne, even though he just doing some crazy stuff.
I didn't even think about Wayne.
Man, it's so many. It's so many. Tupac. It's a lot of great rappers, man. A lot of great rappers out there. The Rap and Wrestling podcast. How do you come about with the podcast?
Yeah, so kind of like what I was saying, like I've had the Wrestling IQ 101 podcast that I've been doing. It's a great show. With it's just strictly wrestling. We talk to wrestling, interview wrestlers. But the pandemic started, and kind of I think one thing that happened with the pandemic is it forced a lot of people to evolve and to try to change their product to try to stay more relevant. So with this, I was just kind of thinking of things that I could do that would kind of just like evolve who I am as a host and kind of just express me more. So I just thought of like, hip hop, and I just thought about wrestling. Like, yo, there's so many connections between both of them, and it's like, but nobody talks about this. That's the first thing I did. Is like I Googled like rap and wrestling, hip hop and wrestling, and there was like maybe one forum on it or one like site on Instagram that was about it, but like they had stopped posting stuff like in 2017. So I was like, damn, like no one's going in this field, and no one's attacking this demographic and talking about this topic. So I just decided, like, you know what I mean? I was like, yeah, let me do this. I was like, let me just take a chance on this, and you know what I mean? I love it, and I feel like I evolved myself as a host. I feel like I've become a better host. Everything is more natural, and everything I'm doing now and me being more natural with this transcends into Wrestling IQ 101. It helps me be more natural with that and bring some of these dope ideas that I'm doing with my show, helps me bring it to that and help that show evolve as well. So that's really all it was. It was just being home like everybody else during the pandemic and just saying like, hey, let me just think of something new. And then I came up with that, and you know what I mean? Luckily it's attaching. People are messing with it, and they like it a lot. So, so far so good. We'll see where it goes from here.
Hey, it's going all the way up, man. It's going to the moon, though. To the moon. So yeah, that's what's up. So you started right before the pandemic?
I started after, like when we were home, when everybody was home.
Okay.
You know what I mean? If you ain't got nothing to do but think of stuff, like, damn, what can I do? So I like during the pandemic is kind of like when I started and decided to do it.
Hey, that's what's up. That's what's up. I started my podcast a little bit before the pandemic kicked off. Well, I think beginning of March. So I started in mid-December. So man, just like people tell me, I'm gonna tell you, keep going at it, man. Like I said, it's going to the moon, man. To the moon. We gonna move on here on the podcast, you guys. We're talking about music. A big headline came out earlier this week. Lio Rush retired from pro wrestling. I'm not too sure what happened. But yeah, it's really sad. I thought he was gonna last long more in the Casino Battle Royal though. But yeah, he's from DC too. I had an opportunity I was going to have an opportunity. I still kind of do have an opportunity to chop it up with him, but they sent out a birthday wish to me and stuff. But and he's young too, so he got the whole world ahead of him. So you know what kind of injury he got?
I thought I heard it was an ACL or something like that. I think it's something with his knee or something like that happened during the actual Battle Royal. I think that's when it happened. That's why I think he wasn't in it that long, because he got hurt during the match.
Yeah, I was hoping to see more from him. He was doing his thing in MLW and stuff with Myron Reed. So yeah, man, another person, in AEW, Andrade. He's in AEW. What's your thoughts on AEW right now?
AEW is good for wrestling. Because they create competition, and that's always a good thing when it comes to bigger companies. Even though they're not exactly on the level of WWE, they cause competition for NXT. You could say that. So but they're getting these guys, and I guess I don't know, they're giving these guys a chance to be more of themselves. But like with everything, I mean, there's a lot of flaws in it, just like there's flaws in WWE. You could pick out any company and there's going to be flaws with it. So with AEW personally, when I look at and I see flaws, it's like the women's division, we still know it needs to be built. That's one thing that they need to work on and get some more talent. There's so many amazing women that are on the independents that I don't understand how they haven't gotten these people into their women's division and built these characters up. There's a lot of great women out there that they could easily sign to their roster. Also, there's a lot of botching as well. That's one thing that always bothers me too, is because they do a lot of high spots. So when you do a lot of high spots, there's going to be a lot of botching because there's going to be mistakes with things that happen. So that's one of the things too as well. And what else? I think I don't know. I feel like sometimes it's the same thing. It's kind of like, what I mean? They're supposed to be the fresh breath of air that give all these guys new chances. And then I think it gets caught up, and it's like we end up seeing like the same people on TV all the time when it comes to AEW. And there's like so many other guys, and you're like, yo, what happened to this guy? What happened to this team? What happened to that? What happened to that? So I think they got to work on a lot of stuff. And the way they book too is another thing with me. It's like you'll look and you'll see a AEW card or AEW pay-per-view, especially, and you got these two guys fighting, and they didn't even give us a story on why these two guys are fighting. They just threw them together and said, yo, you two are going to fight. It'll be a great match for sure, but it's like, yo, give me something. Like, make me invested into it. Like, build it up or something. So
exactly.
But overall, though, I want to think like I'm bashing AEW, because I'll bash AEW just as much as I'll bash WWE for the things I see wrong, just things I don't like. But I think AEW, I think it's a good company. It's a breath of fresh air. I enjoy watching it as well. But I think there's a lot of things that they need to fix.
Yeah, it's a lot of things. There's a lot of things they need to fix. I think the hype is it's new. It's something that's alternate It's not Impact and it's not WWE. It's something that's sort of in the middle, but it's really, really popular. I think that's why a lot of people, is rolling with it. You talked on something that didn't make sense. It was the matchup between Dustin Rhodes and I can't think of who his opponent was on Dynamite last week. They had a bull rope match. Like, I didn't understand the point of the bull rope match. And when it gets to that extent of a bull rope match, I thought, it calls for a story, a build up or something like that. And it's just, like certain things, it's just, pointless though. But hey, man, it's the new toy, I guess. It's the new toy on the block. But
yeah, they're still new. They're still working stuff out. As much as as much as I do criticize them, I do realize, they've only been in business for what, like going into 2 years. Like they're going into their second year. So it's, there's a lot to work on, and hopefully they get better. They got a lot of good guys there, and they got some of those senior guys coming in, like Mark Henry, Big Show, stuff like that. So hopefully guys like that help the product get turned around to where it should be.
Yeah. We'll see, man. Derrick, man, I appreciate you joining me on the podcast. Before you go, we got a Against All Odds coming up this weekend. Who you got in that with the main event match between Kenny Omega and Moose?
That's gonna be tough, but I feel like it's just Kenny Omega, man. It's like,
if you're gonna go with Kenny, I'm gonna go with Moose, man, because it's like, why is Kenny Omega over on AEW a lot, and then you get Good Brothers over on Impact? It's like back when they did the WCW Invasion, it was sort of a one-sided. Like, I would love to see like Rich Swann in Impact and some of the tag teams and some of the women wrestlers, to mix it up. It'll be
like
fun.
Crossover and go on there. So dude, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe some type of legalities or something like that that's preventing it from happening. But I don't know. I just feel like with this whole thing that you know what I mean. Just AEW has kind of like just been owning Impact. You know what I mean? So I think I don't know if that's gonna stop. And I think Impact is kind of like AEW's owning Impact, and Impact is I guess they're getting more eyes on the product from people who are watching AEW. I don't know. You know what I mean? So it's a weird thing, but I don't know. I'm gonna go with Kenny. Kenny seems to be the big thing right now, especially in that side of things. So I'm gonna assume Kenny's gonna walk away with everything.
Okay. Hey, yo, man, Derrick, once again, man, I appreciate you joining me on the podcast this week. Before you go, any shout outs, any questions you have for me, anything you would like to say?
Yo, just once again, man, I want to say, I appreciate you having me on. Definitely, hey, hit me up. I'll definitely come back and talk. We're gonna have to switch it up and bring you on Rap and Wrestle and reverse the roles on this. But definitely, just shout out to everybody, like we said, in the podcasting community, the wrestling podcasting community that's just out there grinding. All those names I said earlier. Just check out all of them guys. Everybody's putting out a dope product. Everybody's putting out, things that are different. Everybody has their own style on the way they're talking about things, and it's very interesting. I know it's a lot of product out there, but definitely zone in and check out those guys. A lot of good quality guys and girls that are just killing it right now. And just shout out to you, man. Keep doing your thing. If you want to check out Rap and Wrestle, make sure you follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter at Rap and Wrestle, RAP, the letter N, and Wrestle, WRESTLE. Make sure you follow, subscribe. Same thing on YouTube. Check us out, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere you get your streaming needs. Definitely, click, subscribe, follow, like, all that good stuff, man.
Hey, you guys got it, man. Go and follow Rapping Wrestling on Instagram. Subscribe, do all the good stuff, man. For real. Yo, Derrick, man, it was an awesome time. Like you said, we got to reverse it. I come on your podcast. This was awesome, man. For real. It was really, really awesome chatting with you. You're welcome anytime, my guy. But stay blessed, man, and keep doing your thing. I appreciate you joining me on the podcast this week.
Thanks. Appreciate it. Thank you, man.
Yo, bro, I appreciate you joining me this week on the podcast, man. It was nothing but awesome, man. Nothing but awesome. I dig the energy, the vibe, everything, man. You guys, when I showed the Dirty Hills, my man Kofi from the Dirty Hills podcast, my guy came on. He was just cheesing, man. And just seeing the picture on their social media, they was just together at Battle Club Pro. So hey, man, you guys are doing the damn thing. Like I told Derrick, man, I'm trying to be like y'all when I'm growing up, man. I just been doing it for a year and a half. You guys seem like y'all been doing it forever, And once again, shout out to all the wrestling podcasters out there that's doing their damn thing. And it's not just wrestling podcasts; it's the Black wrestling community, bro. When I was coming up and I was, a little whippersnapper, bro. You didn't see too many Black people talking about wrestling. If you did, bro, it was a problem. You feel me? It was a problem. So, to see you guys support each other and come out, man, is dope. So once again, like I said, man, shout out to the Jabba Tears Network and the Jabba Tears podcast. Shout out to the Clock Street Wrestling podcast. He just had his 200th anniversary or 200 episode. I'm getting it all mixed up here. But 200th episode. So once again, shout out to him. Shout out to the Hardy Wrestling podcast. Shout out to my man Stan, Sir Wilkins. Yo, man, just everybody. We love wrestling. Yo, man, like once I start getting on, pretty sure I'm gonna forget somebody. Shout out to Off the Top Ropes podcast. Man, shout out to the Working Fans podcast. Yo, man, shout out to the Front Face Lock podcast, the Choke Slam Report podcast. Man, it's just so many. Shout out to all the wrestling podcasts. I'm not about to even forget no more. And I know I'm probably is though, but yo, man, we gotta keep supporting each other. This has been an awesome episode, you guys. To have my man Derrick from the Rap and Wrestle podcast. Yo, stay blessed, man, and do keep doing your thing, man. For real, I really dig it. I really do dig it, man. I like the top 5 though too. 2 top 5 rap artists. For real, that's dope, man. Yo, what a show. It's Friday, you guys. Yes, it is Friday. We got Dynamite tonight, you guys, right after SmackDown. So we're going to see, you guys, is Jimmy going to fall in line? Is Jay going, he got something to say against Roman, the way Roman was looking at Jay last week and Jimmy after beating the crap out of Dominic Mysterio and Rey Mysterio. So that's going to be, interesting to say the least. But yo, you guys, man, it's going to be an awesome weekend. It's been an awesome show today, you guys. I hope you guys have an awesome weekend. Before I go, you guys, yo, don't forget to follow the 1130 podcast on all social media platforms. Follow me on Twitter at Dre on Wheels. Follow me on Instagram at the 1130 podcast. Like the 1130 podcast on Facebook. Subscribe to the 1130 podcast on YouTube. Share it, leave a comment, tell a friend about the 1130 podcast. You know how we get down, man. For real. It's been an awesome show, man. And yo, also the 1130 podcast, Talk Pro Wrestling. Yes, it's available on Spotify, Anchor FM, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, you guys. Wherever you get your podcasts is at, man, make sure you follow, leave a 5-star rating and a review. Tell somebody about the 1130 podcast. And if you would like to be a guest here on the podcast, email me. That's the 1130 podcast at gmail.com, or just hit me up on social media so we can work, man. Man, it's been a good week, interesting week. And also, you guys, don't forget to tune in to the 1130 podcast main show each and every Wednesday, airing on ED Radio and streaming on YouTube at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Download the free ED Radio app right now. Yo, man, it's been an episode. Dope episode. Once again, man, shout out to Derrick and the Rap and Wrestling podcast and my guys Kofi and Good Brother. Happy birthday, Good Brother, man. I heard you celebrated a good birthday, so keep doing your thing, OG. And once again, shout out to the Dirty Hills podcast. Dirty Hills approved, man. Yo, it's your man Dre, a.k.a. Dre on Wheels. Now I'm out.
I'm from the city, DC, that's where I'm from. 1130 podcast, Dre on Wheels, he is the new one. Let's get it, yeah. Who with me? Let's get it, yeah. No. 11:30 podcast. Dre on wheels, he is the one.
He the one, nigga.
So let's Breeze, baby.
He the one.
With me.
So Breeze, baby.
Let's get it. You with me. Yeah, they gon' hate, but they ain't stopping this. I'ma keep making hits. Dre and Wills, you know it ain't no copying. Was you sitting there on the carpet with us? Yeah, we knew we had some options. We blessed. We ain't got no problem. Speak something that I